Hi and a warm welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to share with you my tips for growing clematis in pots. I like to think of clematis as the ballerinas of the climbing plant world. They are so beautiful, they are so delicate, and they have such charm to them and perfect for the cottage garden setting. You can grow them in the ground, you can grow them in pots, you can climb them up pergolas, over arches, up walls, up the sides of fences, up the side of sheds or garages. There is a clematis that will be perfect for pretty much most situations. So I'm going to show you today how to plant one in a container. Now there are a few considerations with regards to planting in containers, and that is, the first one is choose the correct pot. So you want to give these a pretty good root run. So I've chosen quite a large pot. It has a lot of space for the roots to get down into the soil, and also it's pretty well established that clematis like to have their heads in the sun and their roots in the shade. So do not choose a black container which is going to absorb too much heat. If you are going to go for plastic, choose a light coloured plastic, so something like a terracotta, and ideally, if you can, try and choose a ceramic pot. This will allow a little bit more air to flow and will try and keep the roots cooler than what they would be in something like a black plastic. A wooden container is also good because that does allow the air to get circulated through the container and it's not going to hold too much heat. So that's the pot considerations. When it comes to the clematis, this one, I've got one called Dark Eyes, and you can get these at this kind of size. So I'll just take it out of its cellophane. We got this from the supermarket and this was only £3, and this one has the most beautiful purple open flowers, and it gets to a height of 3 meters apparently, so quite a good one, and it flowers between July and September. Now already it is putting on lots and lots of growth, which is great. So what we need to do is let's get the container filled first. So I've just got a piece of crock in the bottom, and the compost I'm using is just a general multi-purpose, peat free, and I've just added some manure to it. Some farmyard manure, because clematis are quite greedy plants, so you want to give it lots of nutrition. If you don't have manure at hand, add in some slow release granule fertiliser just to give it that extra boost. So I'm just adding some to the container. Now they do like good drainage, so again this pot will help to allow the air and the moisture to flow between the pot itself. And when it comes to planting, I'm going to plant it directly in the pot. So I have watered this already, and you can see it has quite nice roots going round and round there, so just try and release those roots slightly so it can get itself well established in the pot and not keep going round and round. And I'm going to plant this fairly deep, so I can see that it's there. The woody part of the stem is above the soil there. I'm going to plant that even deeper. So you can see I'm going to plant it quite deep, and this just ensures that it protects the crown and what's going on underneath from clematis wilt. And that's that awful thing that happens when you think your clematis is growing perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden you see it all wilting. And it's not critical, it will regrow from the base, so you just have to cut off the affected stems and then we should get better growth coming through after that point. So this just ensures that you're giving it the best possible chance. So nice and deep. You can see I'm planting that quite well below where it was originally in that pot. So I'm just planting all these things around it, all this compost. It's a bit of a firming in, and that is all you really need to do. I'm going to keep that stick in because I don't want it to flop over. That'll help it to guide itself a little bit, and then all we need to do then is add in the lovely obelisk which I've got to grow it through. So this is the obelisk I've chosen to grow it up, which hopefully should just fit nicely in this container. So bring it over just like that. Put it down as far as I can to keep it as stable as possible. There we go, I think I've reached the maximum for that. Now the good thing about clematis is the leaves do curl and bend around the structures, so it will be self-clinging. I'm just going to give it a little helping hand by just weaving it a little bit through like that. And once the leaves are in contact with a structure like the size of the metal, they will naturally just turn around and cling. So there's another shoot there, so that I'll try and train that way once that gets round like that. So if you grow clematis and you really want to add another one, but you've got no space in your garden, or you've got no fence space left, growing these in containers is a wonderful way that you can add that extra height and add an additional clematis to your collection. Don't forget to give it a water after planting. Give it a thorough water. So I'm intending for this one to go at the front. We already have an obelisk there already, which will be taken out because that's fairly old, and this will be replacing it. So when we look through our front window during the summer months, we'll be able to look at this and see some really beautiful flowers. So the main take-home message is get a container that's quite deep. Try and avoid black containers and get a ceramic one if at all possible. If you are going to choose to have plastic, just make sure that it's a light coloured one. We don't want to have them roots baking. And you want to have nice free draining compost, add additional fertiliser to it to give it another boost. You want to be planting these quite deep, particularly the summer varieties. The early spring ones don't tend to be affected by the wilt as much as the summer varieties, the summer flowering ones. So just ensure that you can give it as much protection as possible by planting that really deep. So a good few inches below where you see it growing in its own container that you bought the plant from. And then once you've got it planted, you need to provide some kind of support. So I've gone for a nice obelisk here. You can buy nice straight ones that you kind of stick in and have like a flat surface to them, so they can grow them up those. You could scramble them through bushes, roses, trees. These are just fantastic plants. They're very amenable, and so providing you give them a sunny position, they will reward you dividends with some beautiful, lovely, ballerina-like flowers. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope this video has helped and you found it informative and also enjoyable. Please hit that like button, please subscribe. If you have any comments about this, please drop them in the box below. We will see you very, very soon on the next one. In the meantime, please do take care and happy gardening.